talk about Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. So I've already reviewed all of Batman the Animated Series, its two films, and Batman Beyond. So let's talk about Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. What makes this movie really good is the fact that when you watch Batman Beyond, there isn't a lot of mentioning of the Joker at all. Um, but he is brought up, like he's referenced. There are lots of shots you can see, like wanted posters, things like that in the background. There's just hints that something horrible went down between him and Batman, and that something happened to Robin, something happened to Nightwing, something happened to Batgirl. It was a pretty messed up scenario that happened. I'm not going to spoil what that is because this is a great movie. You should watch it, but what makes this movie so horrific is kind of interesting. So, unlike Batman Beyond, which is a TV PG kind of kids show, uh, with some, actual, lots of adults love that show, so it's not a downgrade to it. But this is PG-13, so they're gonna show like blood, though it's not super violent. It's pretty much in line with Batman Beyond. They just show a little bit of blood, and that people didn't like that. But it's a really well paced mystery because basically all we know is that the Joker returns, which is not a spoiler because it's in the title, Return of the Joker. So he returns, and Bruce Wayne's like, "What the hell?" Because if the Joker returns, um, he would have been like 80 years old, and last he saw him, he died, and so and that's not a spoiler either. Again, it's just kind of a plot description. So he, so you have this mystery of why that's going on, and then you also have that's Bruce Wayne trying to figure that stuff out. Then we have Terry, our new Batman, trying to figure out what the hell happened because he wasn't there. Bruce won't tell him. Nobody will tell him. And so he's trying to figure out what's going on, what the story is. So you have a really well paced mystery. It kind of feels like Batman Mask of the Phantasm, right? We got this villain that's mysteriously killing people. Nobody knows why. And it's a lot of trying to figure it out. And, but I think that movie is slightly better just because of the atmosphere and score of that movie. This is good, but it doesn't have as good of a score, and doesn't have the atmosphere that movie does. But it is still fantastic, and a lot of stuff here is is there is a different version of Batman in this. Now I will talk spoilers towards the end. Because I do have a complaint that is spoilery, so I will warn you before that happens. But the animation's a little bit better than Batman Beyond, but it's about on the same level as that show, which is a pretty show. It's a pretty good looking show. So and the voice acting here is great. You got Tara Strong. Uh, she voices some newer characters, and then she also voices a classic fan favorite, which you probably know who it is, but I'm not gonna say because it's a spoiler. Because she's not in the movie too much. She's not in the title like Joker is. So you got Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, back voicing the Joker, his iconic voice for that character. We have Kevin Conroy back as Bruce Wayne, as always. He was in Batman Beyond, and, Batman the Animated Series, so his voice is still iconic. He still does a great job. But yeah, I mean, this movie is great. Now I'm gonna get into spoilers. I really don't love. I really okay. So I do like this fact um, that when you watch the sequence with who kills the Joker, it's Robin who kills the Joker, and um, not what is it Batman, because Batman has a rule that if he started killing people, he wouldn't come back from that, and so that's kind of the whole point of Batman. So I was like, I was probably gonna not like the movie that much if that happened, but it didn't, so that's great. I like how they bring back Harley at the end of the movie. I think that's pretty cool. But it's kind of interesting. I like the idea of what the Joker is. It's very creepy. him finding out who Bruce Wayne is, and all that stuff. But besides that, I don't really have too much to say about this movie. It's a great movie. Most people who have heard of this movie have seen it, they know about it, and they love it. And you should, because it is fantastic. It's a great interpretation of Batman with a newer Batman, bringing back a classic Rogues Gallery villain. It's just beautiful. It's horrific. It's creepy. It's engaging. It's just so much. It's so good. Go watch this movie.